Spruce Grove or Stony Plain, that's the conversation today. What's up, everybody? My name is Sam. I'm a local realtor right here in Spruce Grove. You might have seen my short video comparing what $450,000 would get you between Spruce Grove and Stony Plain, but today I'm going to be diving a little bit deeper. I'm going to be breaking down the pros and cons between both towns so that you can make an informed decision on where best suits your lifestyle. So grab a coffee, hit that subscribe button, because this is a small town showdown. So first up, I'm going to start with the overall feel. Spruce Grove is heavily family oriented. There's a lot of things to do. There's a lot of outside things to do. So we have over 40 kilometers of trails throughout Spruce Grove. We have multiple parks. We have playgrounds. We have the Tri-Leisure Center. We have a lot of different things for people to do. There's a bit more in terms of nightlife, plus quick access to Edmonton gives it a bit of a younger feel. Now, comparing that to Stony Plain, it's a much smaller town currently. It's got that old town vibe. It's got the old downtown core. It's got some really cool buildings. It's got all these murals everywhere. It's a very quiet, almost sleepy town. But there's also a lot of things for families as well, a lot of community events. And because of that tight-knit community that you get with the small town, it's a very laid-back, relaxed vibe. Okay, so now moving on to number 2, convenience and amenities. With quick access to West Edmonton, there's a lot of things to do, like West Edmonton Mall. You have Terralosa Shopping Center, you have Walmarts, you have Costco's. Plus, the Henday can get you anywhere into the city. Now, within Spruce Grove itself, all the parks I had mentioned, all the playgrounds, there's splash parks, there's a lot of different things. We have some fine dining, we have bars, we have restaurants. Plus, we have a lot of grocery stores, we have a lot of shopping centers that Stony Plain doesn't so much have. Now in Stony Plain, it's a little bit different. Like I was mentioning, it's a smaller town. The amenities there, they're not as available in comparison to Spruce Grove. The plus side though, is that Spruce Grove is only like 5 minutes away. It's a quick drive, you're there and back. So you still have access to all of the Spruce Grove amenities. But if you want to stay local and stay within Stony Plain, it's a lot of suburban areas, not a lot in terms of commercial. The downtown core, though, is really cool. There's a lot of mom and pop shops. There's a lot of little stores there that you can see and check things out and really support your community and get to know people. And you never know, the shop owner might be your neighbor. It might be your neighbor's cousin. Who knows? So amenities-wise, Spruce Grove definitely takes a win on that one. So number 3, we're talking about community and lifestyle. Because Spruce Grove has been expanding at such a drastic rate, I wouldn't say it's lost its small town feel, but it definitely is starting to feel more like a city. You still have your communities, you still have your neighbors, you still have your friends. It is still very tight-knit in comparison to a lot of actual cities, but the vibe has started to shift a bit. Now, lifestyle, though, in terms of things that people like to do, if you're a younger family or you like to get out a lot, there's a lot of outdoor activities that you can do locally, as well as going to the Tri-Leisure Center or going to the Heavy Meadow Place or going out to dinner or going to a bar, doing some karaoke. It really has a lot to offer in terms of that sort of lifestyle. If you like it quiet, you can get some quieter areas, but it's not going to be what you imagine when it comes to that small town feel. In comparison, Stony Plain feels a lot more grounded. It's a lot quieter. If you like your peace and quiet, you want to hang out in your backyard, you want to go to a community event, you want to go maybe watch a small parade, check out the rodeo, things like that. It's very heavily community based. So if you like higher energy and you like to do things, you like to get out more and you like to meet new people, you like to go for bike rides, you like to do a lot of these things, take your dog out, whatever it is. If you really like being out and doing stuff a lot, Spruce Grove definitely wins on this one. But if you're a more reserved, quiet individual, you want to be able to sit on your back deck. You don't want the traffic. You don't want the buzzing energy that you kind of get from a bigger town or a bigger city or things like that. Stony Plain definitely takes a win on that one. But they're both great depending on your lifestyle and what your vibe is like to really make that decision on, I want quiet and peaceful, or I want a little bit more lively and upbeat. Moving on to number 4. This is the big one for a lot of people. This is housing and affordability. What's the difference? Stony Plain and Spruce Grove, honestly, even though they may seem different, the values are very close. Now, your dollar does, when you're talking how much house you get for your money, Stony Plain wins. But there's reasons for that. Stony Plain's commercial districts are typically north of the railroad tracks, which at any given time, if you need to go get groceries, you need to go somewhere, You just never know. Train might be passing by. You're stuck south of it. You want to go north of it. You want to go to the highway. Those factors can really contribute to Stony Plain's value. The other thing is commute times. If you need to go to the city, you're already adding another 10, 15, 20 minutes, depending on what time you need to go at, before you even hit Spruce Grove. And then from there, you're adding another 10 to 15 minutes, depending once again on time when you hit the Anthony Henday. And from there, go to wherever it is you work. So that added extra drive time, when you consider, could be 20, 30, 40 minutes a day, can add up pretty substantially and could have a pretty negative impact. Now, if you work locally, or you work from home, or you're a stay-at-home parent, or you're a retiree, it's great for that because you're not susceptible. You're not being exposed to those traffic conditions. Now, the other thing to consider on value, why is it more affordable? It's a small town. You still have that lack of amenities. Even though Spruce Grove is really close, you still can't just walk out your door and go to the grocery store. Not saying you can in Spruce anymore, depending on where you are, but you still might have to drive 10 minutes to get to the grocery store, or 15 minutes, depending on the time, once again, when you go. So a lot of those factors come into play and dictate what the prices are doing in Stony Plain. Now, looking at Spruce Grove, your dollar doesn't go as far in terms of property or house, how much house you get, how big your lot is, location-wise. You're going to spend more for the same thing in Spruce Grove as you would in Stony Plain. But there's a trade-off once again. You're closer to the city. You have more amenities. You have the access to the trails. You have the parks. You have a lot more in terms of lifestyle if you like to get out. And that is typically driving up prices a little bit quicker. But once again, proximity is going to play the biggest role here. The closer we are to the city, with that stretch in between that differentiates our town from just being another suburb of the city, really adds a lot of value because people perceive Spruce Grove, Stony Plain, Sherwood Park, Leduc, St. Albert, whatever it is, people perceive that as a major added bonus because they can work in the city, but they don't have to deal with the big city problems. So the closer you get to the city is more conducive to a higher valuation in real estate. So number 5 is your commute. I already kind of beat this one to death, but I want to reiterate, it could be a bit of an extra drive. Most commuters take either the Yellowhead or Highway 16A. The downside on that is if you are in Stony Plain and you are south of those railroad tracks, you never know when that train is coming. And there is the added traffic that occurs in the mornings and the afternoons, not only leaving Stony Plain in the morning that you are going to have to go through to get to those highways, but also coming back. All the traffic from Spruce Grove is going to affect your ability to get back home to Stony Plain. Not to mention the West End is always jam-packed on a weekday afternoon. So you also have to go through all that too. There is other routes that you can take, but they are not as expansive. They're not as wide. A lot of them are dirt roads. The infrastructure has not been added yet to account for Stony Plain. But if the commute is going to dictate your decision, I wouldn't really bank on that as the I need to live here versus there. It really isn't that bad. It's pretty short. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. But it's personal. It depends on each individual and what their needs are, where they're working, where they need to go. So keep that in mind. All right. So which one's better? Well, that's up to you to decide. I can only give you the information. I cannot decide for you. That is up to you. That's all about your personality. It depends on your pricing. It depends on your needs. There's so many different factors here that you need to consider when you're deciding between Stony Plain and Spruce Grove. And I really hope that what I talked about today has helped you in creating a more informed decision on where you think would be best for your family, for your lifestyle, that's going to match your needs and be a great place for you to call home. So if you found any of this information helpful, or you know somebody that could use this information to help make their decision easier, please like and share this video. Leave a comment down below. Let me know, which town do you prefer, Stony Plain or Spruce Grove? And if you're looking to move to our area or you need to get your home sold, shoot me a message, leave a comment, check out my website. You can always contact me directly, and I'd love to help you. But that's it for me. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos like this, and I'll see you on the next one.